Take number 2. Hello viewers, Joe's HVAC Piano Fishing Rail Fan Productions. This is take number 2. We just had a siren freak show. It went off at 5 to 11 yet again. And I was just getting ready to do a demonstration that was requested by a subscriber on how to take apart a 30-inch high-velocity pedestal fan for cleaning and servicing. So I already cleaned and serviced mine, but I wasn't able to get it on video because my phone battery died. So I haven't been able to get that on video. But we're going to make that up, and we're going to show you guys how to take one of these apart for cleaning and servicing. So I'm going to set you guys up right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. So the first thing you want to do when you're working on one of these fans, make sure that your guards, make sure that it's clipped down before you go and take it apart. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to undo the clips here. So then once all your clips are apart, then you just simply lift the guard right off. And then your fan is pretty much super easy to clean and service. So the other thing I'm going to show you guys is how to get one of these blades, how to get the blade off in order to clean and service it. So like I said, this is a demonstration. I have already cleaned and serviced the fan, but subscriber requested a demonstration, so what we're going to do here, we're going to find the set screw. So there it is. And we're going to simply loosen it. And I like how they provide you with the sets with the Allen key for the set screw. Mine is no brand fan. Sometimes he is a little bit of a hassle, so you have to do the best you can. So your blade will simply just come off like that. So this is our blade here. There's really not much pitch to it, but you know, for the size of the fan, it's pretty decent. So the other parts we haven't really had to do, but you know, if you have to clean and service the motor, what you do is you take your rear guard off here. So you just use these screws here, take off your rear guard. Now with this one, you can either use a socket wrench or you can use a large Phillips bit if you happen to have one. So the camera does not want to focus. There it goes. So yeah, as you guys can see there, that's this is your dual option screw. So it's basically a machine screw with a Phillips attached with the Phillips slot. So if you happen to have a large Phillips screwdriver, that'll make it pretty easy. But I like to use a socket. I like to use a ratchet because it's you know, it's easier to do. So you guys can see I've oiled the shaft because, well, couldn't get on film. But unfortunately, I was having trouble getting the blade off. So I probably should have oiled the shaft, you know, when I was first putting this together. But yeah, and in order to service the motor, you would simply, you know, you take this rear part off here, and that'll give you access to the rear of the motor. And you'd also probably have to take this off as well. But it's relatively easy. Yeah, I made this fan so it's relatively easy to clean and service. But yeah, so I'm just going to simplify it for those of you who are new to my channel. Quite a few times we were almost forced to quit, but we're going to give them another chance here. Yeah, so in order to clean your motor shaft, what you want to do is, like I said, take these off. You know, this will allow you to remove your guard. But the motor itself is pretty good quality. This is one of those good quality motors that a lot of us, a lot of us have. There you go. Hopefully you can see that in there. It's pretty cool, eh? The other nice thing about this motor is the cooling fins. So if you look right in there, it's got cooling fins. So now we're gonna, so this is basically the basics. So the basic cleaning and servicing procedure, like if you just want to clean the guards, clean the blade, all you do is simply loosen the clips here on your front guard and just lift them up. That way your front guard will come off. And then your rear guard, you can either, if you want to make it easier to clean, what I do recommend is that you take these screws out like I did when I cleaned and serviced the fan. That's exactly what I did. I found it very effective and it made it really easy to clean. So now we're going to go ahead and reassemble it back together. Gonna set you guys back up over here if we can see the fan. And I'm going to show you one more thing as well. I don't know if this is, I have to look at the request again, but I received this request via email. So in order to balance the fan, what you want to do is you want to ensure, that you're, obviously balancing is probably one of the hardest parts, especially with a much bigger blade like this. There's going to be a much higher chance, even the slightest imperfection can really throw it out of balance. So it's always good to be really careful. So I'm going to show you how to balance one of these. Obviously I already went and balanced the fan, but it was in pretty much perfect balance when I got it. So I didn't have to do much to it. So you want to give it a little spin like this. And then do this. And then let it carefully tap up against your finger. And you want to feel, because you want it to tap at about the same amount each time. So for each of the 3 blades, basically they should all be in the same clock as one another. So that's always an important thing to know. And then when you want to test the balance, after you've already adjusted it, just do this. Let it get up to full speed first before you go and start feeling it to test. And this one's in pretty good balance. Like I said, it was in almost perfect balance when I got it, because I am feeling for any vibrations or rattling. Very little down here, but it's barely noticeable, and it's not going to hurt the fan because it's a ball bearing motor. This motor's ball bearings in it. Yeah, so that's pretty much how you test the balance on one of these fans. Like once you're done making all the adjustments, run it up at full power, to ensure that the balance is good. And like I said, this one is really, really good. The balance is just about perfect. So yeah, I just went and stopped it. So this got a really long spin down time, which is great. Because one would think, oh, it's a brand new fan, it's not going to be oiled right from the factory, but something industrial like this, it's most likely going to have plenty of oil from the factory. So yeah, I'm super impressed. The performance of the fan is just incredible. I've tested this at full power. You know, I've gotten a lot of good use out of it so far this season. And it's probably going to make a great air circulator in the winter. For like when we got the heaters going, we got the weather wheel and the portable running. Which, by the way, this does work. I already like did all the checks and stuff, and it works pretty much perfectly. So we are going to do a video on that. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and put the guard back on, because that's part of the reassembly process. So if you guys back up over here. Oh, yeah. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put everything back together. Already put the blade back on. So now with the guard, you want to make sure all your clips are open. So I'm going to go ahead and reposition it back on top here. And all you have to do is just make sure your guards, make sure your clips are able to go onto the fan. Now, another thing I want to point out is you do have to be really careful, you know, not to bend your clips or anything like that. Because I've heard stories where people have accidentally bent the clips on these and then they had a really hard time getting them apart. So it's always important to make sure that's why you guys saw me lift it back up a little bit in order to compensate for that problem. So it's all back together. I'm already cleaned and serviced it, and it runs super well. It's ran super well since I first got it. And as you can see here, it's a really good fan. The balance is pretty much perfect. The packing was pretty much everything was almost perfect on this fan. Like the packing, for example. But yeah, really good fan. So anyway, we might do another video on this, so we'll let you know what we got.